How's everyone doing today? What type of news do we got today? That was a nice little violent reaction. Crude oil inventories. An hour after opened. And some FOMC minutes on Thursday. Technically Thursday, 3 a.m. would be Wednesday night, so later today. Okay, the PM session has some FOMC minutes. We had some reaction off of that node up. What's up? You can't hear me? Is my volume down? It sounds fine to me. Maybe his mic is or his headphone or something. So yeah, where are we going? Like we just hit the top of the range from yesterday. Had some violence up there. We hit about 400 contracts of sell side hitting that volume imbalance. Hourly closed 30 minutes. Hello. Welcome. You got inventories an hour after open, it looks like. They'll be like, oh my god, we found a hidden stash in a Nevada desert. Hidden achievement unlocked. Oops, where did I just move? The volume control. Yeah. What's up, Mameta? How's it going? It's hitting the daily open for the second time. I don't know what that means, but is that Renko thing, Tio, available in a toss? Or is that like motive wave? Sierra, I see. That's like a money glitch. Hey, that's good. Hey, whatever, if it's never gonna do it, never gonna do it. That's cool. Nice. Nice meta. Sample. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Sierra. Does Sierra work on Mac? If I only have a Mac, that's yeah. Yeah. Yep. What? In what sense? In a good way? Nice. What is the oil? Hold up. Let me see what this is. No. I'm looking at what it's worth per contract. Get to the chopper. Wipe your ass. Went back to the current year mid. Don't think I've. Where's Dave been? Maybe because he had the kids for the summer. That's probably it. He had some irregular thing. When is this coming? That's nice. Oh, well, the profit that ensued thereafter. The weekly open looks like it could be a draw. Boop, boop. I got annoyed at this lady at work today because she sits nearby where I'm working, and then she works apparently in the human resources, right? But then, like, they have this stupid, like, 3 month, what do you call it? It's like a 3 month like, okay, you're supposed to have a certain amount of hours per month because they don't do salary because they're cheap and it's some way of tax evasion. But anyway, they basically do it where if you don't add up to a certain amount of hours every quarter, then they'll deduct your pay and then or come out of your if you're shy, then you can use your paid leave to cover the offset of time if you want to receive the same amount. So anyway, I've been there like 3 years, and I've said every single time, cuz I'm not used to like time-based payment systems. I've always gotten salary before. So anyway, like I told them every single time, like, if I'm shy, use my paid leave. I don't get sick. Just use my paid leave. Just use my paid leave. And then they like had this convoluted system that they changed. And it's like every system is made by humans. So it's like the rules say this. It's like you made the rules, dumbass. Like change them if it doesn't make sense. But they changed it to be more like do it yourself. And I'm like, but you're sit in front of a computer all day, whereas I'm like teaching and making lesson plans and checking papers and moving between campuses and picking up kids and doing all this other stuff. I don't have time to think about that. And it's like, I've told you and that every single 3 months I need help with this. So couldn't you assume I need help with it again? Isn't that your job to settle these things? It's just like you're basically trying to gaslight me into doing your job for you. And you're like, well, you're like, yeah, basically. And you're trying to get me to like take the task that is your sole purpose of work. Like you're sitting in front of a computer 8 hours a day just to do that. And you can't do that right. And you want me to like send you a message like on this official system, this time work system, saying that I need the help. And I'm like, yeah, but you know I need the help. I've said I need the help in person. And I'm sitting right next to you grading these papers. And you could have assumed, like, oh, it's the end of the month. Maybe he needs some help. Like, I'm not, we're not freaking robots, like, that need to communicate, like in Wall-E through these monitors when we're sitting right next to each other. Just freaking assume I need help again. Jeez. And so I talked to this other person to relay that information. Like, could you please just tell this person to do their job? And and so right. And then so I was like, well, what's the solution? Like, at every other company, there's a way to make this automatic. Like, can't you opt into an automation thing where somebody just deducts your pay from your paid leave, and I don't have to ever talk to this person again? And then they were like, well, is it hard to remember every 3 months? And I'm like, I've said yes for 3 years now. Yes, it is, because I don't want to think about my pay at this stupid job that I get more for trading than this job. It's like I don't want to think about that. I'm just going in to get a discount for my daughter to go there, and yeah, possibly upsell to my curriculum system. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to think about it. So, but then I came up with this brilliant solution. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go every 3 months into the future and just leave a memo on the last day of that month for every month of those 3 months in the future, and just say, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And I'll just do that for like a year tomorrow so that she'll have this message on the system so she can't say I didn't do it. So I'll just do like a year's worth of that tomorrow and just be like, now every 3 months, you'll be reminded on the system to do what I've asked you to do anyway, a million times in person. It's just people are so dumb, and they want to like gaslight you into making you feel like you didn't follow the rules. It's like, you changed the rules from 2025. I've been there 3.5 years and you never had that rule. So you can't tell me retroactively it's the rules. It's like people make rules to make themselves lazier. Like, oh, you passed the deadline. We're going to have to deduct your pay because you forgot. I was like, I didn't forget. I told you last time I need help going forward, and you forgot. Yeah, I don't want to sit next. I'm going to go to a different floor of the building. I can't stand sitting next to that lady anymore. Anyway, that was my little rant for the day. Oh, nice. Yeah, people are dumb. I mean, she's probably borderline, like, just fit for that data entry job, like, can't really handle much more than that, you know. So for her, it's a big ask to remember. It's like, oh, I've only been there 3 years, and every 3 months I've asked for help. Like, and the thing was, is she used to send a message leading up to it saying, like, hey, do you want to use your stuff? Like, acting kind about it. And then I'd be like, oh, yeah, thanks for the reminder. And then it's like she changed that. And their excuse was they're expanding, so they don't have time to monitor everyone's thing. And I was like, you're human resources. That's your whole job. Yeah. It's like, we can't monitor all the humans in our human resources. It's like, can't you remember? Like, you always have the same problem. It's like, yeah, like, it's just like, why do you have direct deposit? Like, so you don't have to think about it. Why do you have direct debit? So you don't have to think about it. Why do you have direct anything? It's like, I don't want to think about it. Just take it out of my freaking, like, paid leave. Jeez. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's almost like sometimes they design systems just to like they did that when I was at the bank. They had overdraft fees, and overdraft fees were designed to get more money out of the person for making a mistake and to make them make more mistakes so they can get the most of like oh, we're open. Back at 2300. Booyah. So, yeah, I was circling some sellers while I was ranting and they got promptly punished. Let's go see what ES is up to. All this caked orders the whole way down. Um, that's a nice little run up there. It's all good. There'll be another one. Always is. Yeah. Nice. If you're already in a nice location and it's not near your entry, there's nothing wrong with holding it into the open necessarily, especially if it's not a trailing. Somebody peeled off 228 contracts at 2306, and then we bounced off of that character. So I don't know where this end in sight for upside target is, but looks like it could keep going. The Monday highs up at 2328. That would have been a nice It was too fast to react off of, but I was looking for like a second touch to that 200 lot, but didn't give it. It's pretty crazy. That was a really nice open. Are you talking about when we pulled back to like 22,920-ish or something? Never mind. Nice. 23,101. Coming back on a 239 lot seller. Sellers are not in favor right now. They are losing control into oblivion. That's nice. Unfortunately, he was saying that what he's doing with the Renkos doesn't work on YM, so he's probably looking at just gold and oil, I think, or something. He was saying it makes NQ approachable, apparently, for him. Yeah. Why does my cat want to come in here? Cats are nice, but they're annoying when you're trading. Pay attention to me. Looks like ES wants to clear at 63.10. There's like a large resting. Oh no, but it's not. It's kind of new though, but it's from the before the pop up. So wow, you just had like a 279 seller drop their bag at 23.45. And now it's coming up on the entry. Yep. That was a nice seller absorption there. 23.45. Coming back on the seller at 23.45. We hit like the only thing up here at 64 is the volume point of control from July 3rd. Oh, great. Something just fell down. Oh, that was my paperwork. Lovely. Thanks, Kat. Thanks for letting her in. That was really helpful. Very helpful indeed. So we just hit the July 3rd volume point of control. All right. Yeah, it's getting hot in here. Turn that on. Yesterday was a short and chill day. This looks like a long and chill day if you get any pullback. Just long. If it comes back on the 23.45, you could be getting some buyer fatigue. Needs to go below 23.45 with aggression to start rewarding that 279 lot. You've been drifting up only with 1,000 in delta thus far, so you're seeing a fair amount of sellers to cover the aggressive buyers. What do you want, Cat? What do you want? Leave me alone. I have the door closed for a reason. Another 234 seller entered at 2368. And 149 added at 2369. What's up? Long and chill, indeed. 98 seller at 100 at 2377. Aiming at all-time highs. Another 200 seller at 2384. So a lot of people taking profits up here. It's just causing drift into the buy side. Why are you in here? Give me a second. All right. Just stay out, please. Getting some indecision on the last 3,000 trades. Previous all-time high up at 102.50. Could pull back to retest on the volume point of control at 64. So far, no weakness in sight. It's dead set on going up since the open, really. It's just flipping all the sell side into buyers. Like it just uses that for drift fuel to the upside. Looks like the 100 contracts at 23.1 is the next target. It's just long and chill. Just hit 247 buy side with that push up there to ES. You don't really have so many big lots on ES either. Just pulled back on 400 in sell side, coming back to a inflection point at 23.77. Again, until you clear some of these nodes, there's just no buyer fatigue just yet. You came back on this 250 lot at 883. Next is this 104 lot at 77. And the next is a 230 character at 2368. Until you come below 2368, the sellers are not even close to being in control. Wants to clear that 100. Another Seller entering here, 173 seller at 91, 180. They're adding another 87 too, so it's 200, 232. So there's aggressive profit taking happening and or short. Just shy of the hundreds. The pre-100 jitters, we got all the way up to 97.25. Where did we hit on the grand scheme of things? We didn't come up to the previous week high. Super trend still holding until it doesn't. Coming back to retest that 64 volume point of control could be the realistic thought to have. If it comes below the second 77 character, sellers expressing themselves, maybe. Refuses. The volume point of control has changed to 82 now. The volume point of control is right where we're at. So a lot of volume trading up here. Three minutes until the hourly candle close. Do we get a bit of rejection wick on the battle for the wick here? So in the past like 6,000 trades, you had negative 284, negative 215, negative 135, negative 156. So you're getting a lot of aggressive selling here. This could just be an advanced attempt at the sellers to become slingshots. You just got 121 buyer that could be fuel to test the downside at 77, 75. You could get some buyer absorption on that guy, unless he's on sides, just getting in line with the slingshot against the sellers. Hourly closed. And yeah, you swept 566 in buy side with that push up. Going into new price levels. Let's see, we came back to the previous week high, pushing up even further into the 123s. Would make sense, but so we've hit the all-time highs now. And yeah, do we come up a little bit above that to 123.50? That's a point of interest I have here that has yet to get cleared. Super trend has been holding the entire time of the open on momentum master. Let's see if it holds going into this. So we've only come into, believe it or not, 1,000 in aggressive delta. So there's been sellers the entire way up, fueling this journey up. We've circled them throughout. Another 150, or sorry, 160 here at 106, 104. Another 110 buyer. This buyer trying to add for a pound bounce up off of the highs here. Are they going to get absorbed? There's some buyers that were hit up here that were most likely popped shorts. And then this guy adding 120 is definitely a long at 101. So they could absorb this guy to go down and test some sell side and do some more shorts, at least into this candle. Pulling back into about 250 in sell side here. Coming back to the volume point of control. The newly formed one up here at 85. So we pulled back into 271 in sell side. Wiping out the breakout trader minis players longs. Was that enough to drift back up? There's another 62 buyer entering at 91. Basically just buy every pullback thus far. Let's just do this on a eval here. Counter trend. So we pulled down into 271 in sell side, pushed up into 229 in buy side, rejected off the buyer that bought at 101, and now we're coming back on that 62 buyer. So a little bit of buyer absorption here. I took that idea on an eval here for some short, counter trend short. We'll see how it goes. All right, and pulled back into 491 in sell side. Pulling up into 300 in buy side. 491 hit in sell side, now getting a lot of buy side. So there's a lot of trades happening in this region. There's another 71 buyer down, or 74 buyer at 81. Doodle doo doodle doo doo. Yo, how's it going? Nice. That's good. Gold. Everything's kind of trend. What's that? They're creating the volume point of control in this 85 region, so it's kind of like a lot of people are taking profits up in here. And then the shorters are just becoming fuel to drift higher. $124 seller just entered. For what now? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Renko, I dig it. I use it in Ninja Trader for trade management. I like it. I don't like it being like cuz like it's the non-time based system like so it's not it just shows you the lows and highs and where it's going and been very clearly. You just got about 250 buyer that entered at 91 that could get absorbed if they're late to the party, but so far buyers have been correct. And the 126 buyer at 98. So it's just kind of like you're having this little mini battle with a bunch of contracts right now. A lot of inflection points. 180 sell side hit at 90. So there's like this, 400 contract battle of larger players. The 100 static order on NQ like got swept earlier. boom, 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 boom. Hitting 200 sell side here with the pullback from 95. So I'm amazed how it has engineered both, like, you know, to offset the aggressive buyers with a bunch of sell side every time. So every pullback is getting absorbed, basically. So until there's like some massive pullback, there's just, you know, everything's just a slingshot to the upside. Volume point of control at 85 now. It's getting heavier than before. All right, have a good one. Enjoy. Yep. Got a little bit of aggression jitter there. All right. All right, so that little eval short paid off. And then we just swapped the local range from the pop-up where we created a new volume point of control and pushed into 200 in sell side. Again, every pullback has been absorbed, so counter trend is dangerous until it's not. What are we gonna do in this little local range? Pulling back a little bit more, where are we on the charts? So the Volume point control for July 3rd is down at 64. That would be the place where we sputtered for just a split second before bursting out. So coming back to test that burst up, we broke the super trend, bullish super trend on the 30-second that had been holding since open. So are we in the cloud is starting to shift, and we lost the trend dots. Oops. Getting some sell-side interest generated at 75 and 74. Testing the fervor of the buyers. Give me a second, really quick. Just gotta check something. Alright, back. Sorry about that. Yeah. That volume point control test is coming inbound to that 64 region. that's where I'll close this last contract at 65. There's 38 contracts looking to get swept there, so I'll just put one of them on this eval. And closed. Alright. That was counter trend, but you know, I was seeing some sellers start to get rewarded at 99 after hitting a bunch of buy side and induced that 120 lot and 62 lot and 74 lot buyer, and then never went above that 120 buyer. And the 141 buyer added at 91, and the sellers started to get rewarded, and then it induced some more sellers, went up a little bit, and then rewarded them. Yeah, it was just, that's kind of what I was looking at. And now you're hitting a bunch more. We just went aggressively down more while I was talking. Pretty massive. We ate right through that July 3rd volume point of control. And the cool thing about the Momentum Master, this was one of my early creations, was that volumetric cloud starting to shift. And then you broke the super trend, and then you have this trifecta of the cloud and the super trend and the baseline cross down event. All three of those things in conjunction. Yep. After rejecting the previous week high. So we only went, how many points above? We went 9.5 points above the previous week high. I was expecting that 20 point above the previous week high pull up, so I wasn't extremely confident because it didn't go up there, but the idea of rejecting the highs is something that happens a lot. Fake out, breakout sort of thing, for sure. And yeah, they just double topped on the top and pulled back. Good on you if you took that counter trend carefully. I was trading on the, what do you call it, on the Apex. So this was okay for today, like not massive gains, but little by little base hits, putting in the days, and top step I hit the max daily loss limit for today again. Not having so much luck with that, so we're back down to like 2K on that funded that we could have taken a payout on, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. Don't need the money, so I was trying to build it up, so maybe we'll catch a good trade next time. Alright, just before we go, there's the Apex sale, the forever sale extended, continued. If you're looking to buy some evals, the 80% is still going. Wow, this is a massive pullback. Now you're getting aggression here. Ate through all of those buyers on the way up. You just had a 276 buyer at 23.14. Is that a short closing out? Or somebody looking for a bounce? We'll stay with you a couple more minutes. Wow, pretty aggressive pullbacks. It's almost like they put in a new high, and just like, that's good enough, sell it. How's everyone doing out there? Nice. Good, man. Nice. Yeah, I try to make it as, like, what do you call it? Devoid of bias as I can. Like, if it does this, it will do that. If it does that, it does this. If it goes against this contract and this inflection point, then the sellers are stepping up. It's like very matter of fact, you know? That way it's like, I don't want it to do something, it's just doing what that means, you know? So, yeah, like this 276 buyer at 23.14 currently rejecting off that guy, so they're like, no, we're not going to reward you, is what it's telegraphing, you know? It's not my opinion, it's like, no, there's a 202 and a 76 buyer I circled there at 23.14, and it just bumped up into them and bounced back off of that, so that insinuates like they're not considering rewarding that guy just yet, so that could be like a potential entry for the short to at least touch the bottom some more. Not saying do that necessarily, I'm just saying, like, you know, that's, you know, an inflection point where something will possibly happen, that's why it's circled. And then sure enough, these things, like, that becomes like a zone or whatever. This was cleaner than yesterday in terms of, like, what was happening. Like, I was reading all of that, sellers getting absorbed on the way up. And then it's just, yeah, you learn what absorption is, like what is seller absorption. Well, sellers enter and they get punished. What is buyer absorption? Is this thing with this 276 buyer buys, and they're like, no, we're going to absorb things. More fuel to the downside than you, and then just bounce off of them. So why did it go to 23.14 reject? Or was that 276 buyer at 23.14? So they're like retesting to see how spooked they get at their break even. And perhaps they're on the side, so if it comes above that, and then it could be like, let's hide behind this guy, if he's right or wrong, I'll use him as your inflection point. So it just becomes a reason, if you will. And then all this other stuff, like pullbacks, like all empty space, lots of zeros, no contracts, because it's aiming at something lower. So it's interesting. It's just fascinating to see what's actually going on in the movement. Alright, so now you're getting, some sell side hit. 110 seller, 116.94 seller entered the part here at 23.02, and it's jittering in their favor, so could be a sweep the lows. We think a lot, yeah, it's like our emotions can cloud judgment for sure. Like you want to do something, or you want to be right in your initial theory. So it's like I don't want to paint a theory. I want like a if then on both sides, so that it's kind of I'm free to reverse, you know. So if it comes back on those sellers at 23.03, then basically they're no longer being rewarded, although they're currently being rewarded now. And now we just hit 500 and sell side with that push down. We're talking about a sweep of the lows. What a sweep. There's a volume imbalance down at 22.957 from the push up. Talk about buyer absorption, and that guy, that 276 guy at 23.14, Lucy's 880 for him. And now there's a 97, 66, 59 buyer that's either dollar cost averaging or trying to scoop a low here. That could just be more fuel. Like where do you see a bunch of buyers at the bottom? Like that you see a lot of sellers hit. Technically, they did hit 434 in sell side, so they could be trying to scoop on a genuine balance. So 104, that's a lot of this. That's 395 just pulled back on. So a lot of trailing stops on shorts. Now the sellers are stepping up to the plate. We got negative 2K and sell-side aggression for the sessions. There's more seller aggression is pushed down now. So this is 8, basically all of the open move. We have the wheel inventory. How did that work out? Looks like it's just being consolidated on oil. Guess we'll wait for that oil inventory news. The weekly open at 969 is what we hit just now. So we'll possibly could come into the weekly open test before we open the week. That's kind of why we're filing the first above it, I guess. So these 395 buyers starting to get their reward. There's 142 sellers that just entered at 22,996. They could be fuel for the slingshot to the upside if it comes on the back on this other sell pool at 2303. Could be a nice V-shape like yesterday. Yesterday we had a nice V-shape recovery at the half-hour mark. We're just going up, and then on top of that all. At a fib level. Or maybe it was just a few more minutes. Let's stay till the 15-minute close. We'll stay till that hourly close. I gotta get some Z's. Spotting absorption. Yeah, well, it's also like what like the context. Like right now, there's 118 buyer that just bought 983. Now, is that a short close? The context is also like, what is that? Like, is that a short closing? Would you close the short as it's dropping, or would you buy as it's dropping? Like, and aggressively close. Like if it's aggressively pushing down, like why would they aggressively be rushing to close it short? I mean, technically they could, but it's like I'm seeing all this blue adding too. Like there's 135, it was 114 a second ago. So this 983 person is buying 100. It looks to me like they're going long. Now it's 145 buyer, and then there's 68 sellers to 148 buyers. So it's more aggressive on the buy side. So it's like somebody wants to go long at 983.75 for whatever reason, and if it goes below them, then it's absorbing them, and so it's like it looks like now it's up to 151 buyers. So somebody thinks that this is like a double bottom or inverted head and shoulders or something, and then they're putting 158 contracts on the line, and then so. If it rejects off 983.75, then that's your buyer absorption. You can just use that as a theory short. And just hide behind that guy with a relatively close stop. And then you have these other buyers that we had circled from before, which we were like, well, maybe it'll bounce, but rarely do I see a bunch of buyers at the bottom kind of thing. So you'd see like a bunch of sellers hit, and then that would be your double bottom for a potential long. So if you see like 700 sellers hit down here, then that would be your W, and that would be your, double bottom at that point. Once they stop out all these buyers, then you see that as like it's always like it hit my stop and then it went without me. It's like that's what it is. Like you could watch that happen in real time. Like a 71 buyer just bought at 979. So is that going to use that as fuel to go down some more? So far as the theory is like it's not going above 983 just yet. Every time it goes there, it just rejects off it. So this theory of like higher absorption is coming true. Nice. Good job, R26. Congratulations. That's good. It's a good job. I'd love to hear it. Hey, that's what they're there for sometimes, You gotta sacrifice some eval blood on the altar sometimes. If you just use the MM code, that would be ever so happy at that time. Yeah. Just remove the need thing. The need, I'll tell you something. When you need to make money, you lose it. And when you don't care, then you make it. It's this weird, like, hypocritical and contradictory thing. It's like, wait, when I needed it, where were you kind of thing. It's like, same with chicks. Like, if you want a chick, then they're nowhere to be found. But then when you don't want a chick, then you exude this poison aura, and then they all want you, and then you're like, hey, what? Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like the more you don't need to trade, then you get the better entries, and the more you're like, I need to just make this little bit to pass, and then it's like you take that rushed entry, or you hesitate on a good entry, and then you're like fighting yourself. It's like this little paper thin gap between what you should do and shouldn't do. And it all comes down to like the mental game, your mentality, the mindset. The mindset. such a big part of it all. It's the psychology of it all, you know. If we can get, whoa, we got 70 viewers. Congrats to everyone coming on in. If you want to get it up to 10, and then we can possibly give another Apex eval away. So here comes this, are we gonna sweep this, low? We're hitting like 355 in sell side. And so like, yeah, this is like, yeah, seeing this buyer absorption get swept. This is juicy. Yum. We just hit the volume imbalance. Hit another 300 in sell side, so that's 700 in sell side hit here. We're below the weekly open. So, what I recommend, like, it was weird, because I had, like, 30 days of, like, flawless trades for the last month or so. And it was not because I was, like, wanting to trade, I was just, like, I was actually wanting to work out and get in shape more, ironically. So it was, like, because I was doing more for my health, it was, like, somehow making me more locked in or something. I don't understand it, but I'm trying to do more of that. Focus on stuff that's not trading, you know what I mean? So if you really need the money, I recommend like reading some books or doing something outside of trading. Like think about it less. Like you notice I was playing games on streams and stuff. It's like I'm not trying to like need to trade, you know what I mean? It's like if the train leaves the station without me, I'll catch the next one, you know, like I don't care. There's always another trade. Like I took that counter trend short and whatever, you know. I made only 250 bucks on the Apex. Like I can't really like wave a stick at it anyone like, oh man, but it's like, so you do that enough times, you're at 8 days till another pay cycle, so what? So it's just like, that's what it is. They want consistency, and the consistency is in not needing to trade. So yeah, remove that word need is the best way I can give advice for that, is like, don't need to trade or even want to trade. Just be like, oh man, it's my thing, I gotta press the button. It should be like undeniable, I have to press the button here because this is what happens. Lovely. So we pushed into, like, we pushed down on 600 contracts of sell side, pushed up into 200, continued to push down into 258. Definitely the sellers expressing themselves in this region and getting duly rewarded for that. Yeah, bearish super trend holding, cloud still bearish. Starting to create some divergence on the Williams at the previous month high at 934, where we bounced out of. Interestingly enough. So we could be coming back to that hourly. This hourly is an interesting tweezer tops. Well, tomorrow if we can get up to the, what do you call it, 10 viewer mark. Like if you leave a comment on today's stream after I go offline, then you can try to aim at trying to give another account away tomorrow. Apex is all about being frugal, you know, like they don't want you aiming for the moon every single trade. They just want consistency and people that take profits and don't leave it up for grabs all the time with hopes of this or that. Just like find a setup that pays and take it. Within a good risk management tolerance. Getting some buyers here at 9:49. As I said, we wouldn't stay until the hourly close, but it looks like we will. Well, it's good to like try to attempt to look for a trade, but it's hard to know, like, is today a trend day or is it going to be a seek and destroy both sides day? You know, like there's no way to know in advance which one it's going to be. And then so you just look for a setup and take it, and then sometimes it, like the runner runs for like 200 ticks and you're like, well, I wasn't expecting that. And then other times it'll like seek and destroy and come back on the runner, and then if you locked in the gains, then it's like, you know, the thing is like, I don't really want to be in a trade. I'm not doing it for the dopamine hit, you know what I mean? I just want the money. But like sometimes you can get addicted to the dopamine rush, the exhilaration, and even get in the cortisol addiction where you get stressed and you get addicted to the relief of the stress afterwards, the dopamine release after the stress, the adrenaline or whatever. So it's like you ask yourself, is my mindset cold and calculated like this graph on my screen right now? Are you FOMO trading or revenge trading? Like, is it a cold mindset or not? Like, that's what should be first on the checklist. And then what is my risk management? And then the whole analysis part is at the bottom, you know. That's not really, you know, the analysis part of it's just like one small portion of what's the real thing. So that's what I mean by like removing the need, because that need is like subtle, but it's there, and we all have to fight it every day, you know. Nobody's like, oh, cured that, never have to worry about that again. It's like, no, that's human nature. You never conquer your nature. 217 buyer at 951. Some more absorption fuel, I don't know. So far they've been absorbed every step of the way. I don't see any key levels around here other than the previous month high at 934 where we bounced out of on the previous hour. We got the daily open done at 906 and the volume point of control from July 7th at 917. So there's a bunch of key levels lower. So that provides the theory for the absorption to continue. Don't really see any resting orders below except on ES, so ES could clear all the way to 6273. Oops, I was blocking my screen with that thing. But that's really where yeah, and that's the thing, if you go on tilt and then you end up green, you're like rewarding yourself with like a bad habit basically, and then that pathway gets lit again, and you're like, well, I'll just do that again, and then it's like the next time you're not so lucky. We've all been there. It's like nobody's not been there. That, you know, it's about like learning your lesson or attempting to keep that in check. And for me, it's like giving back. So even though I have this 248 on the Apex, like, sure, I could make 1,000. Sure, I could make 2,000. Like yesterday, I made like 2 grand or something. But it's like not every day is gonna be that easy, you know. And yeah, so it's like I don't want to give back, because if I give back, that's what triggers. Like you got to find out what your trigger is for that trade, that tilt demon to come out, the trade demon. Like what is the demon for you? Like everyone's demons are different, you know. There's this lyric from this trance song that I liked from a long time ago where it's like, banish the demon stored in your heart, try as you might, they'll never be far. And it's like talking about like you always have the demon nearby. You can't lock them away forever. They're always like tapping on the door like, yo, just this one time, you know. I got you, don't worry. Yeah, and noticing like your, what is it called? Like, you know, do you sweat on your upper lip? Do you like clear your throat? Like what is your tick that's telling you like you need to take a break? That's good though. Having a checklist. I have a checklist here. I'll share the checklist here. Give me a second. This is just a 2022 model one, but I'll just put it in the chat for like a split second. You can grab it if you want, and then I'll just delete the files later. But yeah, there's like, I had a checklist for this. I can do it mentally now, but like stuff like that, make it nice and then print it out. Like not just on like of course a scratch pad is fine, but like, you know, if you can make like a laminated thing that the more makes it more like official, so you follow it or whatever, you can put it on the side of your desk or something. Like ritualize it, you know, habitualize it. All right, well, we got the hourly close, and it was basically a recap of that entire hour up. So we went up for an hour and down for an hour. Happy days. And it looks like we might sweep the daily open and the volume points of control down here too. So this might not be over just yet. And on that note, we will bid you guys adieu, and we will catch you tomorrow. Hopefully, if we can get the concurrent viewers to 10 tomorrow, I will give away another Apex. And yeah, let's do it. Trade safe, ladies and gents, and stay positive, stay frugal.